Hi, welcome to College Orientation. Today we will be discussing financial aid. In this section, we will specifically be discussing how to apply for financial aid at MACC. The very first step in the financial aid process is to complete a form called the Free Application for Federal Student Aid, commonly referred to as the FAFSA. You will use the FAFSA to apply for federal student aid, such as grants, the Federal Pell Grant, the Federal SEOG Grant, the Federal Academic Competitiveness Grant, to name a few, and federal student loans and federal work study. In addition, you must complete the FAFSA in order to apply for state grants and scholarships. Remember, the first word of this process is free, so do not ever pay to have this form completed online or to pay someone to complete it for you. It is a free government form. It is recommended that you complete this form online at www.fafsa.gov, and that is www.fafsa.gov. It is much faster and easier to do it online rather than doing the paper application, which is also an option. The online version, the electronic process, has edits built into the application that dramatically reduce the chance for errors. This saves you time and trouble. You will need to have your most recent year's W-2s and tax forms. And, if applicable, you need to have untaxed income records, bank statements, business information, farm records, and stocks, bonds, and other investment records that pertain to your and your family's financial assets. You should get a personal identification number, also called a PIN number. The PIN is used to sign your FAFSA electronically. If you are a dependent student, at least one of your parents must also get a PIN number. To apply for a PIN, go to the following website, www.pin.ed.gov. You must complete the FAFSA every year that you wish to receive financial aid. An academic year at MACC begins with the summer, includes the fall, and ends with the spring term. You should apply early every year. You can apply as early as January 1st, but don't forget that you have to have your prior year tax information, so you may not be able to do it on January 1st. But complete it soon. I recommend as soon as you get your W-2s at the end of January, get your taxes done quickly and start working on your FAFSA at that time. We strongly encourage you to get this done before April 1st. April 1 is the deadline for most state financial aid programs that require no other application other than the FAFSA. So get your application done by April 1st for state aid consideration. We also recommend that you have your application done by April 1st in order to give the school enough time to correspond with you about completing any additional applications that you might need in order to apply for financial aid. After you've submitted your FAFSA, you should receive your student aid report, also called the SAR. You will receive this by email within 5 to 7 days after you completed your FAFSA. You should review your SAR very carefully to make sure that it is correct and complete, and that your choice of schools are listed and will be receiving your information. Each school that you list on your FAFSA will receive a copy of your SAR, and it is at that point that the school will begin to correspond with you and will either request the additional information or they will send you an award letter to notify you about the types and the amounts of state, federal, and institutional financial aid you are eligible to receive. Sometimes FAFSAs are selected for an additional process called verification. Verification must be complete before the FAFSA is considered complete. and the FAFSA must be in a complete status before eligibility for financial aid can be determined. So if your application is selected for verification, you will be notified on your student aid report, and you will be notified by the institution. It would be your responsibility to respond to any correspondence that you get from the school requesting additional information. You'll probably have to complete an additional worksheet, send in copies of your taxes, and other financial documents that the school will need in order to complete the verification of your FAFSA. The verification process can take several weeks to complete, so it's recommended that you respond promptly and thoroughly so the school has what it needs and you don't experience any further delays with the FAFSA application process. Now, there are other compliance criteria that must be satisfied in order to apply for financial aid, such as Moberly Area Community College has a policy where all students must have a high school transcript or GED, an official GED, an official high school transcript on file in our Student Services Office. So you need to make sure that those items are satisfied to the liking of the Registrar's Department. You also need to make sure that if you've attended any other colleges, that your college transcripts have been sent to the Registrar's Department. You also need to register for classes. Now, some programs have very specific number of credit hours in which you must be enrolled, and you would be responsible for making sure that you've met the criteria, the enrollment criteria for those specific financial aid programs. You also have to be registered as a degree-seeking student, meaning you must be seeking a degree that MACC offers in order to get financial aid administered by Moberly Area Community College. And then some of the financial aid programs have additional application requirements, such as the student loan program, the work study program, and scholarships. The student loan program specifically has a student loan data sheet that you must complete and return to the financial aid department. The student loan data sheet can be obtained in the financial aid office or at any one of our off-campus sites, and it's on the financial aid webpage under our forms library. The student loan application process, in addition to the loan data sheet that I just mentioned, also requires that students complete a master promissory note with the lender. And students also must complete loan counseling in 2 different formats. Loan counseling must be done online, and first-time borrowers at Moberly Area Community College must also attend an in-person live student loan entrance counseling session. And all of these requirements are described in the student loan data sheet application packet, which I strongly encourage you, if you want to go down the student loan, if you want to borrow a student loan, that you complete that form and read it thoroughly. Work study applications are on our website, and you must submit a work study application in order to be considered for work study. And we also have scholarships at MACC that have an additional scholarship application. And all of our forms are on our website. But at any time you should have questions, please do not hesitate to contact the financial aid office. Our toll-free phone number is 1-800-622-2070, extension 301. We have financial aid specialists on staff to help answer your questions and to help you complete the forms that you need. We wish you a good day. Bye-bye.